Hello, hello, 'tis the season. Since next week is Christmas, today Maya and I will be sharing/discussing some of our favorite top 3 Christmas films or Christmas specials. Okay, so to start off my list, probably one of my favorite Christmas films, it's not really a film, it's more of a Christmas special, is the 1996 A Charlie Brown's Christmas. I used to watch this every year on ABC. However, I heard that it's not going to be on ABC this year, but it will be on Apple TV Plus.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. I mean, that's one of your favorites because you have good taste. Because Charlie Brown Christmas is like one of the most iconic Christmas themed, I guess I can't call it a movie. Yeah, like special of all time.
It's my favorite Christmas soundtrack by Vince Guaraldi. It's just all piano, but it's very like calming, and it just gives like the Christmas vibes and stuff like that.
It's such a vibe, especially, I mean, my favorite Charlie Brown was Thanksgiving, but I'm a really big fan of the Christmas as well. It just like the soundtrack in it just feels like Christmas to
Yeah,
me.
definitely. I watch it every year. It's like a tradition at this point. I have to watch it every year.
I love that. Yeah, you have to have something that you do yearly. I feel like that's like Elf for me. Elf is my first one. I love Elf. I think it's so funny. I think it's like one of Will Ferrell's most iconic roles, which is saying something because like pretty early on in his acting career, like Elf was his breakout, like, I'm a movie star, like take me as a movie star, and they really did because he just nailed Elf.
So that's your first, one of your favorites.
That is, yeah.
Okay, my second one is it's on Netflix. It's called Klaus. It came out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite. It's a 2D animated film, and Sergio Pablo's debut film with his studio, the Spa Studio in Madrid. And Jason Schwartz plays the lead, and then J.K. Simmons and Rashida Jones are both in it. I love this film mostly because I went to school when I was during this time of my life. I was still in art school, and then when this film came out, everybody was around me, and even myself, we were so excited because it was one of the first 2D animated film that came out in the wild. So far as all been 3D and stuff like that.
Right.
And they did a really, really, really cool technique on this with self-servicing, especially on the 2D treatment. They did it with, I think it was this French visual effects company. But anyways, they did a lot of this technology called Klaus, K-L-A-S, which means clouds, light, and shadow, which lets the artist control light and sort of animated it as they're doing the 2D animation. And it's really, really cool. And there's like a YouTube video on it from Insider that like kind of takes you into the studio. You can see all the behind the scenes on it and stuff like that. But the story in itself is so heartwarming. Jasper, which is played by Jason Schwartzman, he plays this like really spoiled postman, and then his dad like sent him to this like faraway land to try and like toughen him up and get more serious about his life. And then he basically, this land is kind of like, it's almost like a Romeo and Juliet situation where there's two major families who like hate each other, and he's basically there to like bring Christmas joy. And there is J.K. Simmons plays Klaus, which is this like Santa Claus figure who lives in the woods, and he was really stoic at first, and then you saw Jasper and Klaus kind of came together, and they started giving presents to kids, and because you have to be nice, and but the kids were taught to be naughty towards each other because the families hate each other. So eventually you see this kind of transformation and change of the kids being nice and kind to each other, even though they're from opposing families, translate to the adults being nice and kind towards each other. And it's just like a very, very heartwarming story. But yeah, it's on Netflix, so anybody who hasn't watched it, definitely check it out. And I remember when I first watched it when I was still in art school, I was like so riveted because it's classic. It's one of those things where you think a 2D animated film can't look like this, but it looks, the artwork itself is incredible.
I have to check it out. I've never seen it before, but it sounds really, really cute, and I love J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
It's funny, like a lot of the themes in that movie kind of sound like Twilight, like it's like Christmas Twilight almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
It all wraps back up,
Yeah, it's definitely like very heartwarming, and it's definitely a kids film, so like it's for all families.
I love that.
And then my third film is also a Disney film. It's Eloise at Christmas Time, is 2003. And then I think you can find it on Disney Plus, but they also have it on Amazon.
I didn't know that was a movie. I had the Eloise books when I was a kid, and I loved Eloise.
Yeah, it's a movie. So Julie Andrews plays the nanny in it.
What?
Yeah,
I have to watch this.
Yeah, and this one is really fun because it's almost a love story. So the main kind of like focus deals with Rachel Peabody, who is the hotel's owner's daughter, and he has to marry someone who she doesn't like. It's kind of like an arranged marriage, but Rachel is actually in love with somebody else, Bill, who's like a room service waiter kinda, but Bill is like a friend of Eloise, and the whole film is kind of about Eloise trying to like be her eccentric self to get these two together and ruin that marriage that Rachel doesn't like. And, like, it's just so funny, and it's like such a Christmas film, and I love it. And they're at the plaza, and so it's like plaza at the Christmas.
Yeah, I loved Eloise when I was a kid. I mean, my mom always had children's books in the house. I have such a place in my heart for children's books. And Eloise was like one of my favorites. Like I can see, like as we're talking about it, I can see the illustration.
Yeah, I can't believe you've never seen the film if you love the book
Me
so
either.
much.
I didn't know it was a movie. No, I didn't. I didn't even know it existed.
There are two movies, Maya.
What?
Yeah, there are two. There's like Eloise at Plaza, and then there's Eloise at Christmas Time.
Oh my God, so cute. I have to watch them. Okay, Disney Plus. I'm going to do that today. But yeah, like I don't know, like I was such a big fan, like at pretty much anything that was made from a children's book, like I love, like I want to see, you know? Definitely the way it's executed is important. It sounds like they did a good job of it with this. So I'm like, it sounds like they're really like actually sticking to it. And the way that Eloise acts in the book sounds pretty much exactly like how she's acting in the movie.
She's like
so.
a very eccentric, kind of a little bit spoiled, just like a little kid, yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, she lives in the plaza. Like, it's just so cute. I gotta watch that because I love Eloise. My second movie is I'll do Home Alone second. I love Home Alone. It's one of those movies I can watch on repeat. I actually like Home Alone 2 better, but the fact that Donald is an actor in that film is so frustrating to me that it actually like has put me off of it completely. Because I love Home Alone Lost in New York, but like I'm not watching that anymore. Like I can't. It's so like, I mean, it's just so sad when something like that happens because I was just like, ew, it gave me the ick, you know? But I love Home Alone. Like I grew up with such a big family. There are 6 people in my family that like the hecticness of like the house in the movies reminds me a lot of like my family during the holidays. And we did do a lot of traveling during the holidays. So like, I always like thought of myself as Kevin.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Maya's parents have 4 girls.
We have a lot of people in our family. Like, and it's kind of crazy because now we're all starting to have partners. So it's like,
yeah.
Okay, so there are 4 of us and 3 partners.
And 4 more.
Yep. So it's getting kind of crazy. I definitely do feel when I'm home like I'm in Home Alone. But yeah, like that's one of my favorites. I just feel like it's so zany. It's like, it's just fun, you know?
Oh yeah. Have you seen the Home Alone death count on YouTube?
Yes, I think it's so funny. Like, it's so, I don't know, like zany is the only word I can use to describe it because it's like, it's silly fun, you know?
Yeah.
And also like, I don't know, like a child's fantasy, you know? Like, what would I do if I had all this time on my own, you know? So like, that's definitely, I feel like I watch that almost every year. And then my third... I don't know, like, how people are going to feel about this, but my third is Little Women, Greta Gerwig's Little Women specifically.
Is that a Christmas film? Is it?
It is.
Wait, what? Oh, how do you qualify it as a Christmas film?
Well, okay, so, I mean, number one, if people are going to qualify Die Hard as a Christmas film, I get to qualify Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
But do people really qualify Die Hard as a Christmas film?
100%. Have you not heard this, like, debate? Like, it's a huge thing. People are always, so Die Hard is like so many men's favorite Christmas movie. And Little Women is one of mine. I grew up with Little Women. Like my entire family just is Little Women. Like, yes. I am Meg.
Yes, the 4 girls.
I am 100. No, literally, it's so funny. Greta Gerwig, like, first of all, love her as a filmmaker, like visionary, director of the century. And she represents these women in such a fantastic way. It's so funny. because like all of my sisters fall into one of the Little Women's categories. Like I'm Meg, Lily is Jo, Gwen is Amy, and Mimi is Beth.
Yeah.
And we all like
Amy
it's
is the
weird
one
because
that dies though. So
no, Beth is the one that dies.
dies.
Yeah. Amy is the one who marries Rich and just
Amy is the youngest one.
So Beth dies of scarlet fever pretty early on. Mimi is Beth. I mean, Mimi, like, Beth is such a sweet character. Like, my mom read this book to us when we were kids, and it's like, it was such like a big part of my like childhood. And my mom was always like, I always wanted to have a house like Little Women. And so it was kind of funny. Like, I really love that feeling. And there is such a big part of that movie and book is the Christmas section of it, where they like go and they celebrate Christmas together. And then they go and give back to some of their neighbors. And it's just like a really sweet moment. I feel so, I don't know, like attached to this movie. And I feel like the Christmas like spirit is there, you know? Like if we're going to classify Die Hard as a Christmas movie, I don't think the Christmas spirit is really there. I think it's more like action with a Christmas edge, you know? And I feel like this movie is like Christmas spirit with like plot, you know?
I prefer the 1994 version of Little Women with Winona
Really?
Ryder.
Yeah, like I like the old one. I love Winona Ryder, don't get me wrong. I think Saoirse is such a good Jo. I think she was so good as Jo. And I think that like who played Amy?
Florence Pugh.
It's actually hysterical because Gwen, my sister, loves to make fun of all of us because she's always like, I'm the tallest and the thinnest and I have the smallest, most dainty feet. And there's like actually a line in Greta Gerwig's Little Women where Amy is like, no, it couldn't have been me. My feet are not nearly that big. And I like literally every single one of my sisters turned to Gwen and we were just like, that's you. Like you're watching yourself on the screen right now. Pretty hysterical.
That's funny. But yeah, I prefer the 1994 version.
What do you like better about it?
It's a lot more heartfelt for me.
Yeah.
Like the Greta Gerwig version, it felt too commercial in my opinion. I felt like the Greta Gerwig version, the four actresses, they don't seem cohesive to me, or it could also be because I cannot see Emma Watson as anything but Hermione.
That makes sense. I could definitely see that. Like, I think...
Like, I cannot see her as anything but Hermione. So, just immediately, I can't. I don't buy that the four of them are sisters because one of them is Hermione.
It's Hermione. That's fair.
It's Hermione.
That's the risk you run when you hire someone who has a role like that.
Yeah, and it's not her fault, but still, she is iconic in Harry Potter.
I know. She's iconic in every way, just as herself. Yeah. Like, she's so pretty. I think, like, I feel like they're cohesive, and I think that they, like, I haven't seen the old Little Women in a little while, but that was, like, before Greta Gerwig's Little Women, like, was my favorite movie. Like, so I just have, like, so much appreciation for the story. I think, like, also just, like, a story that, like, literally just centers around these women and their relationships with one another is really sweet. And I feel like it's an earlier example of that, for sure.
Yeah, and Christian Bale was Laurie in the 1994 version.
I actually love Timothée Chalamet's Laurie, though, really? Because I feel like, yes, I mean, he was a perfect choice for it. He's a sleazy little motherfucker. Like, the way that he, I don't know. Like, the way that he's like, okay, fine, Jo won't marry me. I'll just marry Amy. I'm just like, oh my God, you little weenie boy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not my favorite actor. So, I'm just like a little like, off-putted by
biased. Yeah, like
I don't know, I just think like he relies a lot on his looks, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure.
And I haven't seen him take on a role that I felt like wasn't such a departure from what he does really well.
Have you seen that's fair. Have you seen Call Me By Your Name?
I have, but even in that, he kind of plays that same kind of serious, a little kind of like that a little bit stoic type of character, you know?
For sure. Like, he's always playing someone pretentious. Like, he could not play a non-pretentious character. Like, that would just be kind of ridiculous. It'd be like, I don't buy it, like, at all. Like, his thing is pretentiousness, you know? I like him in Call Me By Your Name, but, like, that's really the one that I can point to when I say I think he's talented. And he was in some Wes Anderson. He was in The French Dispatch. I didn't really like him in that. Again, played a pretentious character. It's what he does best, you know? But yeah, like, Timothée Chalamet is not my favorite actor, but there are a couple roles that I do really like him in.
Definitely. I don't know. I'm excited to see Wonka, though, his new one that's going to come out.
I am too. I mean, you know it's going to be god awful. You know it's going to be a nightmare, but I'm so excited to watch it still, you know?
Yeah, we'll have to go and see it together or something.
That'll be fun. Yeah, that should be one of the movies we see in theaters.
Yeah, definitely.
But I saw him on the red carpet for that. I saw a photo of him on the red carpet for that, and he was wearing this really, like, suave velvet suit. And I was like, nice. I was like, he's leaning into the Wonka.
I don't know. Who's your favorite actor? Like, just in general.
In general? Oh, God, that's a hard question.
Well, who's your favorite actor in a Christmas film or, like, a holiday film?
Ooh, okay. In a holiday film, this is so funny because, like, all I can think is Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone's brother, Kieran Culkin. Like, he's not even in a holiday movie, so I can't say that. I mean, probably Will Ferrell. Like, I really like Will Ferrell's Elf. That's what I was saying to Wyatt is they have tried to turn Elf into a musical, and to me, it's just, like, a completely fruitless endeavor because, like, the whole point of Elf is Will Ferrell is Elf. So anyone you're hiring to play Buddy that's not Will Ferrell is just playing Will Ferrell as Elf, you know? And I'm like, and it just doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you just need Will Ferrell for that. Like, you can't make it a musical because Will Ferrell has to play Buddy. So I feel like especially for that, like, he created such an iconic role that I think, like, I have to give him credit for that.
Yeah, definitely. Will Ferrell, he's very funny in all of his films.
He's so funny. Yeah. I love him. What about you?
Have you seen the Santa Claus?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Bernard, the head elf in the first one.
Hold on, I have to Google. I don't know him off the top of my head. Oh my God, I remember him. Yes.
It's so cute. So before this film, my idea of an elf was Orlando Bloom in the Lord of the Rings series. That was what I think an elf looks like.
Okay, yeah, different kind of elf.
But then I saw this film and I was like, oh my gosh, that is adorable. Yeah,
He's so cute. I love his outfit.
Like with his like little like beret and like his his outfits and everything. Actually, The Santa Claus is a film that has really good costuming, especially for like all the elves.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Because it's a series. There are like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, the first one's the best one though.
Yeah, I should go back and watch that. Oh my God, now you're making me want to watch, like, I have a list going. I'm like, I gotta watch Eloise, I gotta watch Santa Claus, I gotta watch
it's
Charlie Brown. Claus.
Claus, Klaus is on Netflix.
Claus.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't see that. It was nominated for a bunch of stuff.
Really? What year was it nominated? Oh, 2019.
2019. It was nominated for an Academy Award. It won the Annies. It was, I think, nominated for a Golden Globe also.
So funny. Like, for the listener, I am an Oscar obsessed person. So, like, pretty much all through March and February, I will be talking about the Oscar nominations. And this year, 2019, was the one year that I missed the Oscars. Actually, that's not true. I missed the Will Smith slap too. And that was because I didn't have access to cable.
Okay.
So like I was really bummed because I was like, oh, I can't even watch any of the like I was just like in a bad mood. So like I missed that year and the slap year. How, like, what a year to miss, you know? I was literally asleep when it happened, and my sister called me and she was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Are you watching the Oscars?" And I was like, "No, I don't have cable." And she was like, "Oh my God, go on YouTube and Google. Literally all you have to Google is Will Smith Oscars." And I was like, "Okay, I did." I was like, "How did I miss this?" This is like the one year I don't watch the Oscars, and like one of the craziest things since when they announced the wrong Best Picture.
Oh yeah, it went towards La La Land, right? Which I think was the wrong move.
No. La La Land lost, but they announced it as La La Land.
Oh.
They said La La Land, and it was supposed to be Moonlight.
Yeah, that's the right move then.
So they handed the La La Land cast the Oscar, and the La La Land cast started doing the speech, and then they were like, "Oh wait, sorry, you guys didn't win. It's actually Moonlight. And so they had to pass the Oscar off to the Moonlight people on stage. I was like, that was like the crazy. I thought it could never get crazier than that. And then the Will Smith slap happened, and I'm like, oh my God, the Oscars is getting so dramatic. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was nominated for a bunch of stuff in 2019 as like one of the best animations.
I have to watch it.
Which makes me really, yeah, that's why I was surprised you never saw it, because I know you love the Oscars so much.
I love the Oscars, dude. Like, Oscar season's gonna be so much fun.
Any last minute things you want to say?
I mean, happy holidays, listener. Thanks so much for tuning in with us, and let us know what your favorite holiday movies are. We'd love to hear from you, and if there's anything we're missing from our list, let us know. We have time this season to watch a couple more Christmas movies, so let us know.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Our sponsor is, of course, Santa Claus. And for our next episode, we will be diving right back into the Twilight Saga with New Moon. Stay tuned and happy holidays.